So we're finally here, Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2 Episode 21, The Truth. This episode is the penultimate episode and the second last episode in the Power Rangers Dino Fury series overall. And just like the name suggests, this episode is the big bombshell reveal episode where we learn several twists and several plot reveals for heroes and villains in this episode. And I gotta say, it's pretty freaking crazy. So, let's talk about Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2, Episode 21, The Truth. So what's interesting about this episode and how it opens up is it starts off with a cold opening, and I think this is the only time and the first time that Power Rangers Dino Fury has done this in the show, because we got a lot of cold openings in Beast Morphers and a bunch of other seasons, but we never got any in Dino Fury, and this is the only time they do it. So I do wonder the directive choice or the editing choice that Simon chose to put this cold opening at the start of the episode. It was probably to do with the reveal that Amelia has, where she walks out and says, "Guys, I think I'm from RAFCON," and then they play the opening right away. So I guess that makes sense with there, but it's just kind of strange that we're on the second last episode and this is the episode they choose to have a cold opening, because there could have been a ton of episodes that they could have chose to have the sort of cold opening for with Power Rangers Dino Fury, and this is the one they choose to do it. I'm not complaining, I'm not hating, I'm just like baffled and confused that now's the time we get a cold opening when the show's about to end, because we don't get one in the next episode. So this episode had the big reveal that Amelia was from RAFCON, and Simon Bennett has said on Twitter that there were clues sprinkled throughout both seasons in the show, and it was the plan since episode 1 of Power Rangers Dino Fury. And I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch season 1 and season 2 and see if I can catch on to those clues, because the big one that gave it away that Amelia might be from RAFCON was the scene when they eat the cake and Amelia liked it and no one else liked it, so that was one of the big giveaways that she was from RAFCON. And apparently there are a bunch of other clues sprinkled throughout both seasons, so I'm definitely going to have to go back and watch and see if I can catch on to any of the other clues and hints and teasers that Simon and the crew put in Power Rangers Dino Fury, the show that Amelia was from RAFCON. So that is definitely worth a rewatch if you can catch on to all those clues, because Simon said there's more than one, so I'll have to go back and rewatch the show. Now, one of the other big reveals in this episode, and that is Void Queen and Void King, or Tarek and Centaura, are Amelia's parents, and they're from RAFCON as well. And we find out how they ended up in Area 62. They crash land on Earth, and they were looking for supplies, and they got taken prisoner. And we don't know for how long they were taken prisoner for, because they land in an open grassy field, and then they just wind up in a jail cell. And then one day the base is going to explode, or Area 62 is going to explode, and Pop Pop runs by and sees a hole in the wall, and they cry out for help, and Pop-Pop says to them, "You gotta get out of here, this place is going to explode." And that got a chuckle out of me in a weird way, because I was like, does Pop-Pop know these people are prisoners? Because they're in a big cemented wall, they've got a big door beside them that is very heavy duty, and it's probably locked, and there's one little hole in the wall that they could only slide a baby through. So how the heck are they going to get out of there? Does he not know they're trapped in there or something like that? But we see that Tarek and Centaura give Pop-Pop, or Tarek does. Tarek gives Pop-Pop baby Amelia, and Pop-Pop raises her, but we also see how Centaura ended up in the little underwater tube. And that's because she thinks that the humans stole their baby, and that makes her hate the humans, and she also bumps her head and then goes into like a coma. But we sort of have this montage of Tarek building the Sporex machine and putting Centaura in the little water tube thingy, and coming across the Dino Knight Morpher in Area 62. And it's a really interesting montage that kind of explains how Tarek found those things and came into the care of the Dino Knight Morpher, which I was wondering how he'd stumble across it, but apparently Area 62 had it the whole time and Tarek just found it, so that's an interesting reveal. But that flashback also sort of leads into Destination Dino Henge, where Amelia finds out that, oh wow, you're my dad, and we've been fighting the whole time. That's pretty crazy. Speaking of fighting, this episode has some really good fight scenes in it, one of them being a civilian fight of Amelia versus Slifer, and I gotta say, it's really freaking cool as Amelia fights off all the henchmen and Slifer in that scene, because Slifer doesn't mess around, and there's this one scene where he punches Amelia or hits her with his little staff, and she hits the wall with a thud, and you can hear it in the sound effects or in the special effects when Hunter hits the wall. They probably added the special effects in there, but I don't know if it was a stunt person or something like that, but it looks like she hit the wall really hard, so you kind of get a grasp of how serious this fight is. But in the episode, Slifer gets away. That's right, Slifer gets away, but unfortunately in this episode, Mucus does get sucked into the giant cocoon that Void Queen has turned into, and it's sort of sucking up all the Sporex that get destroyed. And in this episode, it's a good way to have Sporex fodder, because we see some that I think weren't like given their own episodes, but you see them sort of fighting off the Ravkonian army and the Rangers in one scene, so it's cool to see like all these different Sporex being used as background characters, but also sort of Sporex cocoon fodder. Now, I want to bring it back to Tarek being Amelia's father, because this was a fan theory that fans had for the longest time, that Amelia would be related to Void Knight in some shape or form, and lo and behold, it was true. And although I wasn't on board with this theory, because we've had seen this plot twist in Power Rangers done a dozen times where the hero was related to the villain in some shape or form, I feel like I enjoyed how the payoff was done in this series, because they did really well to hide it, and although some fans caught on really quickly, they did throw a lot of curveballs in your face to sort of throw you off the scent that these characters might be related, so I gotta give them props to that. But how Amelia saves Tarek from being Void King is through the power of love and friendship. And although that is kind of corny, it is very Power Rangers-y, where the power of love saves someone from being evil and gets rid of all the Sporex in his body. So I was surprised how they did it, but hey, I'm glad that Tarek is back to being Tarek, because he rocks that outfit like really freaking awesomely, like that whole leather jacket with like the medals on him. I kind of wish we got an explanation what that suit was about, because I also do wonder if he was like a war hero or something like back in the day, and he has those medals on as sort of like he could have been a Ravkonian knight. Like, that's a theory we can throw out there. Was Void King, Void Knight a Ravkonian knight? Let's put that up for discussion. But either way, this episode had some really good jokes in it as well. I like the scene where Void Queen invades Buzz Blast, because we get to see the Void Queen suit once again, which is a lovely, awesome suit. I love that monster suit. But we get to see it in some really good lighting as well, because usually Void Queen has appeared in mostly in the Area 62 base, where the lighting is very dark and damp and not well lit. And here you're in like a bright area like Buzz Blast, and you get to see the shine on the suit. Now, there has been some shots where Void Queen was outside in the show, that was New Zealand footage, but you get to see like a really good like shine on the suit in this episode. But not only that, she was like hiding Sporex eggs up her skirt. That was something. Up her dress, that was something. But anyway, guys, Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2, Episode 21. I loved it a lot. I really enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait to watch the finale and see how that goes, and give you my thoughts on that episode. So once again, another solid episode for Power Rangers Dino Fury, and I can't wait to see how the show is going to end moving forward. So anyway, guys, what did you think of Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2 Episode 21? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye!